You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Love Talk Live. I'm your host, Jaime Bronstein, and today I have with me Elyse Buckley. Welcome.
Hi, Jaime. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am so excited that you're here today. We've been talking about this for so long and we're finally doing it.
It's very exciting.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you guys all about Elyse, and then we'll get into some topics and questions. So Elyse Buckley is a Los Angeles-based actor, writer, and producer, nominated for Best Acting Duo for her role of Faye in the film The Chair That Killed Faye, and making the rounds in the festival circuit with multiple films this season. Elyse Buckley is steadily growing her base in the indie film world. From Sister Fiona to Stephen King's In the Death Room, to her portrayal of real-life feminist icon Jackie Mitchell in Throw Like a Girl, she is bringing a wide range of characters to the screen this year. Best known for her recurring role in Dreamworks AwesomenessTV comedy series Foursome as the recurring role of Girsten throughout all 4 seasons, she can also be seen on Netflix's Bill Nye Saves the World, opposite Jillian Bell, on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, and recurring on TruTV's You Can Do Better. Her much-anticipated young adult thriller, Blame, is set for an early 2021 release. Wow. You do a lot.
I try. Thank you.
One of the best things about Elyse Buckley that you guys will get to know throughout this is she is so positive, and you'll see you have such great energy. Thank you. I'm just so excited about everything that you have going on in your world.
Thank you. It's honestly, I feel like this year has been, for everyone, such a challenge. Like the last 12 months, it's been 12 months now, which is insane, like since quarantine started. But I somehow, the whole world stopped, and then somehow I got busier than ever. And I'm like, it's been so nice. Like, I feel like despite all the madness, there have been a lot of great blessings. So I'm like, all right, let's stay positive. Let's stay focused on what is happening. So it's good.
Well, good. And so, I read a little bit about what you do and what you're doing. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about how you got into acting and things that you have more in detail about what's going on so people can know? And then we can get into some questions about dating and relationships, which is why she is here today.
Yay. So I've been acting my entire life. I grew up doing theater. I don't even remember when I decided I wanted to. It was before I formed memories that I was like, I want to be an actor. I think I'd seen Julia Roberts movies. I saw Pretty Woman and Stepmom when I was in preschool. And I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And so finally I moved out to Los Angeles for college, and I studied theater and screenwriting. And now it's been nice since being out here for a few years to get to expand beyond just acting. And I'm developing a kids animated TV series, and I wrote a young adult coming of age film that I plan to star in and produce back in Chicago. And I'm starting a podcast. So Jaime, I'm going to need some advice from you on how to host and all of that. Just juggling all the balls right now, but still acting is the main focus.
Wow. And I get it because we are cut from the same cloth. You're so busy, but yet you make it work. And I'm the same exact way. I think it's I heard somebody, it's an Ayurvedic term where vata, somebody, I can't remember. It means wiry. We're just little and wiry, and we just are on the go all the time.
I love that. Yes, I feel like that's why we connected and why we became friends, because we have that same energy of okay, let's go, let's make things happen. We love to connect with people and just be okay, what can we do together? What can we create? I love that.
Creating is so exciting. And I remember, so for you guys watching, we met at my cousin's bachelorette weekend, and we were hiking and just talking. And I think I was asking you questions about a bar class, a working out bar class or something. I don't remember.
Yes.
Who knows? But I was you need to tell me these things. So, and here we are today. And I was saying before that we actually do need to catch up at some point in person to really catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so let's talk about dating. What has dating been like throughout the pandemic? What have you gained from this time? What have you learned about yourself? What can you tell people? I just asked you a million questions, but I'll ask you.
All right. I mean, dating during the pandemic, I have plenty of friends that are like successfully dating and they're on the apps, they're going on dates, every few weeks. For me, one, I am very COVID conscious and paranoid. So
Right.
I am like not going to date someone unless I'm like, okay, I need to know every single person that's in your circle, in your bubble. So it's a little difficult on the apps. I did date someone towards the beginning of pandemic. And it was a couple months of like, we were FaceTiming all the time, like for hours on end, getting to know each other. And then, it went on for a few months. And then after that ended, I was just like, this took so much energy to get to know someone, like basically long distance, even though they live in my city. But I'm like, I can't meet up with them for like the first couple months while we're figuring out what this virus is and if it's safe. So now, honestly, since him, like I'm on the apps, but I've been spending the majority of this year just spending all my time on me and my career. And that's been my whole focus. Thank you.
That's so
and
good.
it's been so nice. And I feel more fulfilled and busier than ever. And now I feel like I'm at the point where like I would love to date. I would love to find like my perfect man. Jason Segel, if you're listening, that is you. He is my number one celebrity crush.
He's married, correct?
No, he is. Oh my God, as far as I know.
Oh. Wait, are we talking about he was in How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's been in a million things. Okay.
He's been in a million things.
That's your type. Okay. This is good to know.
But
the wheels are turning. Okay, go on.
The wheels are turning, yes. When I used to waitress, he would come to the restaurant and he was truly the nicest human on the planet that I was just like, wow, I'm in love. But in reality, I'm at the point where I'm like, I am so happy and have such like a busy schedule that if I'm going to dedicate my time to a guy, like he really has to like elevate my life and like add so much positivity to it because it's already at such a good place that I'm like, so many of the guys, at least in their 20s in LA, they're just not elevating yet. So I'm like, okay, I'm okay if I'm single for a minute longer because I just don't want to waste time,
Well, I love what you're doing because you're being discerning. Like during this time, so many people have just taken that time to look inside to see who they are and who they want to manifest. And they're better able to, I was just doing an interview earlier on today, and I was saying that people are just so much better able at saying, this is a yes or this is a no. And it's very empowering being able to just trust yourself. And I love what you were saying about how you're in such a great place and you just want this guy to come in and to take you to a better place. But it's not that you're feeling like you're half a person and you're looking for your other half. You're whole and you're looking for a guy who's whole. And then you come together and create just a new entity.
That is the perfect way of saying it. Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. I can't wait for this guy to come into your life.
Thank you. Me too. But like, I can't wait. But yes.
We're patient.
Right. Oh, I love that though. That's exactly what it feels like. I feel like that is also a blessing of this time in our world. Like, I think when, our parents were dating, there was pressure to like get married and settle down young, where now I feel like we are encouraged to, stay single longer and like fully form yourself and your desires, your morals, your career, like everything that matters to you before you match up with someone. And that way, like you can fully connect and make sure you like actually line up on all the important things in life.
Yeah. And what's so interesting to me is that there, of course, there are couples that, like, my parents have been married for almost 50 years. They met so young. I mean, they knew each other in seventh grade, but they started dating junior year in college, got married so young, and it worked for them. However, and it's working for them. However, so many couples that do meet so young don't get to actually get to know themselves and to feel really strong in who they are. And then it can be very difficult. So I love that you are embracing where you are in your life, in your singleness, and you're not hating it. And that's actually, ironically, how you manifest, when you just surrender and you say, okay, I'm not going to hate where I am right now. I'm going to enjoy where I am right now and be present. And that's how you bring that person in.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I feel like. So I am also one of those people who I tend to, I can't get into like the apps and messaging back and forth. And I very much am the type of person who, like, it's an instant connection. Like, if I meet the right guy and I'm like, oh my God, head over heels. But so I'm like, when the world opens back up, I have no doubt that I will be like, you know, crushing on guys I meet on set left and right. But until then, I'm like totally, completely content just being like, yeah, it will align when it's supposed to align. There's no need to rush it.
It's so good. And like I was just saying, like, this is the place that you need to be in. I remember that I got to that point when I was single where, because I was like, oh, I just want to meet my guy. I just want to meet my guy. And then I did finally get to the point that you're at now where I was just like, wait, this is actually fun. This is fun. I can do what I want. I can, like, I'm just going to enjoy this time because I don't want to look back and feel like I didn't enjoy this time. You know, it's about being present.
I love that. Yeah. And I feel like there's almost a pressure I've noticed with some of my girlfriends who are single to like find the right guy by a certain timeline or point. And it's like, no, we should enjoy this. We should, like, it's all a part of our journey and our process and like what will lead us to who we're going to become. So I think that's so important and great to actually like embrace this time of being single. So I love that you did that too. And then you found your perfect man.
And then then eventually I got to the point where I surrendered and I'm just like, okay, it's really important that you need to do the work. You need to take action in terms of not just having the guy show up at your doorstep, you know? Like, I got to the point where I was like, okay, what, like, the definition of psychosis is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So I was like, okay, how am I going to change this up? And my thing was kind of like what you're doing right now, which is like, I'm just not going to try as much anymore, like, or not care as much anymore. And so it's like, that was my shift. That's how I switched it up a little bit. And then I'm just like, okay, bring them in whenever. And it was like a few months later.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
There's a power. Manifestation is very powerful. I don't know if you're like your guy, your forever guy is right around the corner, but there's a big relationship that's coming your way.
I like that. I like the idea of that.
I'm so excited because you are elevated. You are at a different level. Like you're saying, like you were a year ago. You're just, and it's really nice. I love that and this is an inspiration. Hopefully this will be inspirational for all of you guys out there watching. What Lauren is doing is so important. She's following her bliss. She's in her joy. She's doing things in life that that you love to do. And that is also how you bring in more joy to your life and love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. Because I think, you know, for me at least, like I'm more attracted to people that are happy and are like following their passion. Like the most attractive thing to me is passion. And like passion for career, for family, just for the world and travel and everything. And like when you meet someone that is so happy and excited about what they're doing, like that's what makes me be like, oh my God, I want to spend more time with this person. So I do feel like, you know, the more we all can just embrace what really lights us up, it's like we're just going to attract the right people into our lives that way.
Absolutely.
Also, on what you said, like the manifesting front, I am the biggest manifester. Like I I won't show you because it'll go all blurry if I move my computer, but like I have a giant vision board on my wall and I'm just like constantly adding different things to it for different parts of life. But I'm like, that is the best way to make your like what you want and hope and dream come true, is not to just be like, I hope this happens. I hope I meet this person or get to do this. It's like, no, like look at it every single day and remind yourself what matters. And that's what's going to line up and happen.
Yes. You can't just set your intention. You have to actually do other things. Like you have to believe it's going to happen. You have to visualize it's going to happen. And I like what you're saying. You have to not remind yourself, because of course you know what you want, but it's this, it's like if you're exercising, you want to strengthen a muscle, you need to go to the gym every day. So this is reminding yourself, reiterating to yourself and feeling it within, being so clear on what you want, and also reminding the universe of what you want. And with that said, I want you to remember this, and everybody, that the universe gives us what we need and not necessarily what we want. So when I say want, I almost have to catch myself, because it is what we want, but we also say, but I trust that you're going to bring me what I need also.
I love that. I'm going to like write that down. Actually, I have this whole like line of Post-its with little like inspiring gems people have been dropping in like Zoom calls and stuff. I'm going to write that one down. I love that.
It's a little nugget for you.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. What else did I want to ask you? What about dating in LA, which you kind of talked about a little bit, and dating in the entertainment industry? Like, was it you that said that yes, when we first met at the Bachelorette shindig almost 2 years ago,
Oh my God, wild.
My wheels started turning. You're single. I need to fix you up. And was it you that said you don't want an actor?
Yes.
Okay. So what is it like dating in the entertainment industry? And do you have any like great stories about that when you did date the actor, when you did date someone in the entertainment industry, which makes you want to not date in the industry?
Yes. So It is true. What I told you is that I'm always like, I don't want to date actors. I like one actor in a relationship, I think is great. Like we learn great communication skills, all of that. But like two is just a nightmare. But I almost always end up dating actors because they end up being the ones that are like so passionate about what they do that I'm like, ooh, like that's attractive. They're so excited about life and their art. So I keep saying,
before you go on, I have to stop you, because if I don't tell you this now, I'm not going to remember to tell you later.
Yeah.
I want you to do a little exercise, and anybody else out there, this can apply to everybody. Okay. The universe gives us what we focus on. So you've been focused on, I don't want an actor. I don't want an actor. And so the universe is like, that's what she's focused on. I'm going to give her more actors. So next time this comes into your consciousness of what you don't want, say what you do want.
You're a genius.
Say what you do want. Okay. And there are plenty of guys out there that are passionate about other things besides acting.
This is true.
Attracted to you.
This is true.
But go on with your amazing story. Tell us your story.
But I love that. You're right. Focus on what I do want rather than what I don't. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But so honestly, I was actually just talking to a friend of mine about this, because she said she's the exact same way. And she's been, in this industry for decades. And there's something about like in high school theater, we used to call it a showmance, because you would kind of have a crush on someone else that's in the play or in the musical with you. And it would be like, oh, a little romance that started because of the show. And it's the same way now, where I'll be on, like, if I'm single and I'm on like a shoot or filming something, and I'll meet someone and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so attracted to them. I have butterflies. Like he's so nice. He's so like excited about what he's doing. And then sometimes I'll start dating them. And as soon as or shortly after production ends, I'm just like, oh, the excitement has left, because I had all this adrenaline from being on set and doing what I love. Once that is over, I'm like, maybe I was more attracted to being on set than I was to this specific guy. So it is it just, I tend to date a lot of actors and people that I meet on set because I think that's just like where my adrenaline pumps and where I'm like, oh my God, I feel alive. Like I feel my best. So that's why I tend to date a lot of actors.
Okay, I feel like it's kind of like when you're on set, you're drunk.
It's almost like that, yes.
And then you get sober and you're like, I don't know, did I have the beer goggles on? Something like that. It sounds very similar to when that happens to people.
That is exactly
Like
it.
you wake up the next day and you're like, oh.
Yes. Yes. I have had that exact experience where I've like, someone has asked me out on set and I've been like, oh my God, yes. Like I'm so into that. And then we'll have the date after we've finished working together. And I'm just like, I swear I really liked him last week and I don't know what it is that's missing today. I am not feeling
Where are the lights?
It's the goggles. It's set goggles, beer goggles. Yeah.
Interesting.
So when the world does open up, I'm excited to meet people elsewhere, I guess, other than on set.
What would happen if you were actually drunk on set? So it's like double.
I think I would be fired.
I mean, it'd be like double beer goggles. Okay.
Double beer goggles, yes.
So now here's the thing at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody can relate to this. Whatever your thing is that you're like, I don't want to date, if you don't want to date a dentist or whatever your thing is, At the same time, it's important to be open, because there are the exceptions. Like not every actor is the same type of person who would have the same relationship with you. Not every dentist is the same.
This is true. Yeah, and I think that is the biggest thing is and what I try to do is just like stay open to it all and not generalize, which sometimes it's hard to do because we try to, I think it's in the same way of like, I manifest what I do want in, a potential partner. And then I also make that like, avoid these things. And maybe it is better to just focus on the like, okay, focus on the positive things. And don't worry about the like, but not if he does this or not if he's that. Like, just focus on the positive. So that's a good thing to try.
And the thing is, it's so easy for you. I know. Because you're so positive in general.
Thank you.
You're like the most positive. Like before I met you, I thought I was the most bubbly, positive, energetic lady in the world. But you like surpass me by infinity.
Well, I also drink a lot of coffee, so that keeps me very energized and positive.
That's the thing. You probably don't even really need it. You probably wake up boppity.
I do.
And then you're like off the hook. You're off the wire.
And then I take my like afternoon nap to like recharge, and then I'm back to being energized.
Vata. It's Vata. That's what I was saying before. Vata.
And what it means when you're wiry?
It's like little skinny people like us. Like we're very wiry. I don't know. That's just how it was explained to me. Yeah, there's Vata, Pizza, and something else. I don't know.
Something else.
I'm not sure. But it's like good to know our type because then it can just help you understand yourself more.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we're winding down, but not quite done. What is some nuggets from you of inspiration, things that you've learned throughout your life that have been like defining moments or things that have propelled you and changed your life, whether it's in dating relationships or just in general about life?
I think, the first one that comes to mind is, and also I apologize if you can hear my cat. He's like bathing himself in my room. He's just like licking his tail. Okay, good. So
I was wondering who was licking their tail.
I'm like, I really hope the audio's not picking that up. Little pieces of advice or just lessons I've learned. The major one, at least related to dating, is to trust your gut. Because that is the one thing, like in college, I think I've talked to you about this, I'm sure, because, over the time knowing you, I feel like I've confided in you with all my little like dating lessons or like hardships or ups, you know. But I did have one boyfriend that I dated in college who was like, he was my first love. I was head over heels for him. And he was really great at first. And then I started to realize like, oh, I think like, I feel like he's cheating. He's not the same guy I thought he was at the beginning. And then he started to like, I confronted him and I was like, hey, this seems not right. And I feel really weird about it. And I've even had friends bring it up and be like, he flirts with other girls a lot. Does this make you uncomfortable? Are you nervous? And he turned it around to make me feel like I was the crazy one and like seeing things that weren't there. And so we dated for like just over a year. And then finally at the end, we broke up and he had been cheating on me. But I let it go on for so long because I was like, no, I must be crazy. Like he says I'm wrong, even though like I know in my gut that I'm right. And so from that point on, and also I had never been a jealous person with anyone else I dated because, you know, I think if someone's going to cheat, then like that's not on you and it's not your job to like try to stop them or like protect your relationship. Like then they're just not worth it and not worth your time. And so I like always had that outlook and was never jealous. And then with him, I just like, you know, kind of zoned in and I was like, no, I have to make it work. Like I'm crazy. Everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. And so that was like the best lesson is anytime I start to like not trust someone or like kind of start to see red flags, I'm like, trust my gut, know something's off here, move on. Like it's not worth trying to make something work and trying to force something that like, you know, deep down is just not right for you. So that was like a hard lesson to learn, but a great one to learn early on.
Yeah. And thank God you learned it so young because some people never learn this and some people wait till 5 marriages later to get this lesson.
Yeah.
So I love that. And this is another reason why we're so similar. That is always my number one inspiration to people, to trust your intuition.
Yes. And it's so, I feel like we're made to question ourselves constantly, and especially like as women. And it's just like, once you really can get in touch with like your gut and trust it and listen to it. Like I just hear, did you ever watch Scandal? That Shonda Rhimes show? Okay, well, Kerry Washington in that show, I loved it. But she would always say, just like, trust your gut. What does your gut tell you? Follow your gut. And I like, anytime I see that red flag, I hear Kerry Washington's voice in my head be like, trust your gut. Go with your gut. And I'm like, yes, Kerry Washington knows. Trust my gut. This is not right.
It's like sometimes I say to my clients, you know, picture me like in a cloud above your head. She's like your cloud.
Kerry Washington, you are my cloud. Yes.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. And it's the crazy thing is she obviously has no idea that she's made such an impact on your life.
Right?
Thank you, Kerry.
One day when we work together, I'll tell her. I'll be like, I hear your voice.
You guys should probably do a project together. Kerry Washington, if you're watching this, Lauren Elyse Buckley, you guys is your next co-star.
Yes.
Okay. So, anything else you would like to add to this interview today?
I don't think so. Well, I do have one question for you, actually.
Oh, I love being in the hot seat. Yeah.
What was that?
I love being in the hot seat. Yeah.
Yes. Pressure's on, Jamie.
Okay.
When the world opens up and like, you know, I can not just date on my phone, like on apps, but actually like go out and meet people again.
Yes.
What would be like your piece of advice for getting back in the ring? I feel like I'm going to be so not used to being out and like socializing and meeting guys again that I'm like, what's a like bit of wisdom or advice you would say for like getting back into dating again in the world?
Okay. My advice is the first time, like when you're going to rip the Band-Aid off again, have it be with, bless his soul, but maybe a guy who doesn't really have a lot of potential. Like you're not really sure. Bless his soul, but he's getting practice also. So it's like you guys, it's benefiting both of you.
Yeah.
Now, if that ends up being your husband, that would be a great story. If you're like, yeah, I can't, it's not that you're not using this person. You're getting practice. Okay. But even I'm saying that because I feel like you want an answer that will give you some direction. But my real answer for you is that you're not going to have a problem but you or everybody, because the thing is, if all you need to do, pandemic or not, is show up as yourself, then whether you've been out of practice or not, you're going to rock at it if you're showing up as yourself. But if you are going in, so I guess my advice is just don't have the fear. Get rid of any type of fear of what am I going to say? What am I going to do? How am I going to look? And just say, wait, do I know who I am? Do I know how to be me? Yes. And whatever the outcome is going to be, is going to be.
I love that. That is perfect. Both parts of that actually are so perfect and good. Thank you.
And of course, I'm around for any type of coaching that you need. Right, I can give you a pep talk right before you go. I actually, one more thing I would recommend for you and everybody, and I recommend this to everybody in general, make a list of who you are, all your qualities, all your positive qualities. And I want you to look at it every night before you go to sleep. Just in general, do this so that it's ingrained in you, so that you know who you are, so that you don't have to yes, do a pep talk, look at it before you go on your date, but it's just, and it sounds silly. It's like, of course I know who I am, but actually until you get really clear on who you are and what you have to offer, it can just help.
I love that. I love that idea. I'm going to write that down tonight and look at it.
Okay, good. You can laminate it, put it next to the vision board, or put it in the drawer of your bedstand, or make a little copy of it also and put it in your purse or your phone slip.
Like to keep in my wallet to always get to look at. Oh, Jaime, I love this idea.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, and obviously you have to keep me updated on these dates. You're going to say the first date was so great. It went well. I know how to be me. It's all good.
It's all good. It's great. You prepped me. We're ready.
You are so ready. And with the highlights and everything, you're even more ready.
Thank you.
Other people that haven't seen you before, but she has great new highlights. So
yes, I used to be very dark brunette. And in quarantine, I was like, I'm going to go crazy. I either need to shave my head or dye it a new color. So I went blonde.
I think for the acting roles you're looking for, it's good you didn't shave your head, but maybe someday.
That's what my sister said too. She was like, no, just dye it.
And it looks a little longer. But anyhow, we probably should end the show. Okay, so how can people find you, reach you, Insta, website, spew it out?
Yes. So my Instagram is Lauren Elyse Buckley. And my Twitter is Lauren Buckley 23. And those are my main platforms. Or my website, if you want to check things out, is also laurenelysebuckley.com.
Fantastic. And as always, everybody can reach me at therelationshipexpert.com or Instagram, The Relationship Expert, just the X in the word expert, not the E. Okay. So Lauren Elyse Buckley, so much fun. I feel like so much fun to catch up with you because we haven't seen each other, but so much fun for you to do this show.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. And I miss you and your beautiful face. This was so nice.
You are so sweet. We're going to catch up at some point. And thank you everybody for joining our show, and join us every week on LA Talk Radio, Love Talk Live. See you later.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.